John McAllister to get us underway. He's hit those good. Very well. A little bit similar to the first semi-final. Hit them great. Nothing down.
Seconds.
So it's Mark Farnsworth to take reds. Key to this frame is going to be the red just below the black. Doesn't go anywhere. Can he possibly play it cushion first, flick the yellow on the way back out, and make it into the corner pocket? Maybe that's what he's looking at.
10 seconds.
I think he might be. I think that's what he's looking at now. Yeah, he's just checking the angle. That's exactly what he's playing. So if this goes right, frame's going to open right up for him. Very delicate shot though. If you catch it too thick, you're going to catch the near knuckle on the way in. If you try and catch it too thin, you might slide right behind it altogether. So an important shot in this frame. Important shot in the context of the match. At times you see the importance of settling and getting one on the board, so to speak. He's played it really well.
Much more difficult than it looks. That actually has to be really quite precise when you come in cushion first.
And it only just went in as well off that far draw. Almost looked like it was going to stay up for a bit, but yeah, played it perfectly. Other players, your lesser players, some of your amateurs, they might have thought they needed to break that ball out, you know, and tried to dislodge it in some way, shape or form, but not Mark Farnsworth. He knew exactly what he was doing. Very nicely controlled as well. And he's going to be taking a 1-0 lead.
Well done. You called a McAllister Dunster final. I get the feeling Mark is just, I think he's growing into this tournament.
Yeah, I mean, look, he's been below par the first couple of the two matches that I've commentated on him on this weekend, but he's found a way to win. And crucially, what matters most is he's finished to his 6-5 down to Curtis Lee and played 3 really good frames to finish the match off after making plenty of mistakes, far more than normal.
Yep.
In his quarter-final, he was 5-all with Gav Robinson, having made a few more mistakes than normal. You know, a couple of uncharacteristic ones. Does a very good finish at 5-all after Gav makes a mistake, and then does the next 2 off the break. You know, it's just pure class. You know, it's one thing playing well when it matters. It's another thing doing it after you've played poorly or below par for most of the match, and then finding it when it matters most. You know, mark of a true champion. Almost went in off there.
Yeah, not the best break that from Mark. He was a bit lucky that he didn't go in off. He was a bit lucky that he wasn't kicked in off after that either. It's not the best split, actually, because you could certainly make a case for yellows, but that one in the bulk area is horrible. It doesn't really have a red to start on.
No, I mean, you don't want to be playing a plant or a long red down the cushion, or can he play the plant first start? I don't know if the plant even goes.
I think red onto red just about goes, and if he gets it, then the reds aren't bad.
No,
and he has. It's a really nice shot.
Yeah, it's good.
Actually, now next problem maybe the black, but I think that will sneak
Yeah.
down to the bottom left.
I think it does, but yeah.
You want to be behind that.
Sneak's the word, yeah. I think he hasn't got a full pocket if he's got enough at all. And like you say, you want to be right behind it. You never want to be playing into less than a full pocket unless you're very, very close to it.
And the way he's left this red into the centre. Is he going to have to go into those two reds now, do you think?
10 seconds.
Oh, not sure he's going to have much choice. Yeah, he has, and
He'd like to hit the other one, I think.
yeah, I'm not sure he could have got into it enough to hit the other one, but it's not come out great. I mean, he's got a shot, he's got a choice. He can take reds into either of these bottom corner pockets, but he's chasing these. They were tricky from the start, and if anything, they're getting more tricky as the frame goes on.
That's the thing, it felt like he'd done the work.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a
Played
great
that
shot.
really well. Played that very well.
Well, and now it feels like he's done the work all over again, because actually he can just, if he rolls that one in down the right-hand rail and comes across and leaves himself an angle to get back down the table.
Well, that's if he. So he is he taking it now? Yeah, he's taking.
I think
it
he's
now.
got to, hasn't he?
Well, the problem's going to be how close he can get to the black if he's taking the.
10 seconds.
If he's taking the red closest to the black as his last ball.
Ooh,
He's
it's
got
not gonna
back up.
drop. He's missed that by a long way. He got lucky that got as close as it did, honestly.
Yeah, he just asked the ref how long he had there. Got down and almost sort of looked like he sort of rushed it a little bit, I suppose.
Yeah, I think he felt rushed.
Yeah, seeing John come back to the table now.
With a pretty simple finish. The two to the left of the black, is he going to have to play that as a plant? If you get right behind it, you'd expect him to make it.
I think so. Yeah, you play that as a plant, definitely. Might even play it now. Yeah, he's not going to be happy with that mark. He knows better than anyone these big matches. You need to take every half chance that you get. You know, it's one thing doing the simple stuff well and clearing up when they're easy, but when you get the chance to put your opponent right under it by taking a 2-0 lead and, you know, potentially, I think he's got the break next, doesn't he? So he could, he's a break and finish away from going 3-0 up, which we see so often. These frames are crucial, these early moments in the match. Crucial. And he's missed a tricky finish. Wasn't easy.
No,
He's
but
messed it up.
you felt like twice in the frame he made it happen. He'd made a difficult finish gettable.
Yeah.
And then he's just missed that one. I think he's just misjudged the clock as much as anything, honestly.
Yeah.
John hasn't exactly made light work of these either. He's had to pull out that plant. He wanted to be behind that and he wasn't. He had to pull out a good shot there. His positional shot to get on the plant wasn't the best.
That wasn't the best, but he's got a very calm persona around the table, John. The worst you'll get out of him is maybe a little look to the skies kind of thing, but he's not one to lose his temper.
Yeah.
Plays at a very even pace. You know, he doesn't ever seem to quicken up or slow down. He always seems to play at a very similar pace.
I sort of feel like he hasn't quite got the angle he wanted on this yellow either.
No, the last thing he wanted to be doing was playing this off of sort of two cushions to tuck in behind it and play it in the right middle pocket. He wanted to just be lower on this and stun the yellow in and punch up table towards the middle. He's screwing twice across, reverse side. He is, yeah.
That's a very, very nice shot.
Yeah, he's probably it's probably a bit better than it looks. He's probably cheeked the pocket a little bit there as well to create the angle. Very good shot.
He's got such a sort of long, languid backswing, hasn't he?
When I say it.
Yes.
He pulls the cue back a lot further than most players do.
Yeah, he does, yeah. He does. He's got very smooth cue action. But yeah, like you say, it's kind of very long. I mean, I'd like to agree with you on languid, but I've no idea what the word means.
Do you know, I'm going to buy you a thesaurus for Christmas.
Yeah.
Because the number of times I say a word and you're like, what's that?
You just lend me your one. You've definitely got one.
Yeah.
You have, yeah.
It's all I read.
I reckon this notepad here, if I read it, open it up, there's going to be lots of different variations of stun in there. Languid. I've heard the word. I don't know what it means.
Sort of.
Third frame.
How else would you use it in a
One
sentence?
frame all. Time
He had a languid stride. If you were talking about someone who was sort of walking in a quite a relaxed sort of a way.
Like the BFG?
Yeah, a little bit.
fair
That
enough.
kind of.
Yeah, yeah.
Not quite lumbering, but
No.
lumbering gracefully, shall we say?
Well,
We should have a YouTube channel just on words.
yeah,
Yeah, I think so. I think we'd get 5, 6 viewers maybe.
yeah. Every week.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, we'd have a target audience, that's for sure.
Yeah, yeah. Friends and family.
Clearly you haven't met my friends.
Uh-huh.
I'm not sure I've met my friends.
So, big break from John with his languid backswing. He's it's a very nice split, but it's kind of one of those where there is a shot that he needs to play here, which he just tried to play and he's messed up. He wanted to be on the yellow into the right middle pocket. He's just underhit it, so he's not on it now, so he's having to reroute. So if he gets on the one into the right middle pocket now, as in
10 seconds.
the shot he's about to play here, then he would have gone about this a different way. But he's making a
Pig's ear?
pig's ear of this. Yeah, I was going to say pig's ear, but I didn't know, because you're obviously from Eastbourne. I didn't know if you knew what that meant.
It's quite a rural place, mate. We have pigs.
Yeah,
Yeah,
and they've all got ears, so
they have.
yeah, fair enough. Why is a pig's ear a bad thing anyway?
That's a good question. Yeah.
Yeah, pig's ear as if that's
Answers on a postcard.
a right
or,
mess, a pig's ear.
or to the IPA Twitter page.
Yeah. Well,
Well, what is John going to do with that black? Because
does it go into the left middle?
no,
I think it does.
do you?
Yeah,
Well, maybe.
just. Maybe not a full pocket, but I think it just goes.
Yeah, you might be right. If it does, he's lucky.
But if it does, I mean, he can't get into the white here enough or much, so he's got a very, very small margin of error. Doesn't want to be ambicuing again and doesn't want to be too far. And he's both.
Well, if it goes to the left centre, the only way I can see is if, and it's horrible, but he's got to dig down at this yellow and hold on the red to the left.
Yeah, which is fine if he wasn't hamper queuing.
Yeah.
You know, it's a very low difficulty stun shot under normal circumstances, but digging down quite a lot as he is, this is quite tough. Yeah, and he's messed it up.
Yeah. He didn't get into it, did he?
No.
I don't actually think he got the back of the cue high enough there to play the shot as he wanted to.
Full pig's ear there.
Yeah. Well, we're looking at a John McAllister special.
We are.
He's
We are.
looking.
He's
He's looking to see if this goes off the red, because if it does, actually this isn't that difficult, because all he's got to do is make a decent contact with the black.
Very true. Very true. And these are the sort of shots I've seen him get time and time and time again.
Oh, he didn't.
Oh,
He didn't go.
No, he did hit it off the red. Whether he meant it or not, we'll never know. But that's a big moment in the match there. They were quite easy. And it was all about that first positional shot. After he's broke, they've gone everywhere. They're all in the open. At that very first positional shot, he wanted to get on that yellow into the right middle pocket. He didn't quite, so he had to go about it a different way. And from there, it kind of unravelled. And every single shot, he got slightly more out of position, to the point where he was snooking on the black.
Well, this is easy pickings for Mark Farnsworth now, isn't it? I mean, this is a practice routine, really.
We're almost at the point where we can talk about something else.
Yeah, I mean, this isn't a practice routine, actually, because Mark Farnsworth wouldn't practice like this because it's too easy.
It is too easy, yeah. He's almost... he's almost left himself Chinese snookered there.
Yeah.
But...
he's fine.
He's fine, yeah.
But yeah, he could have picked a nicer place to leave the cue ball.
One thing I think I've noticed that Mark does do is when it's quite an easy mapped out finish like this, he does pick up the pace a little bit, and you don't get that with, say, like Liam Dunster that we watched in the last match. Every clearance he's almost, because he's got such a pre-shot routine, and every clearance gets the same amount of attention, whereas Mark kind of picks up the pace a little bit when they're easy.
Yeah.
But not in a rash kind of way.
I think that says more about Liam than it does about Mark, because actually I think most players do that.
They do, yeah.
I think most players have a pre-shot routine and they have a thing that they say they're going to do every time, but when they're sat there, they don't always do it.
No, yeah.
Whereas Liam is so focused and dedicated that he does it every shot. If he's got a black over the pocket, pretty much, he'll still go through his whole routine.
Yeah, he will. He'll still walk into the shot. He'll still sort of crouch into it, and yeah. I think you see it a lot with other sports, and they do it for good reason, just to try and create consistency. It's a very perfect board patch there that Scott Miller's got, isn't it?
I was sat again.
Perfectly bored.
Do I mention it? Do I?
No, look, I'm a bald guy. I can say it. You can't say it. But I've been bald since my early to mid 20s, so I've got a free hit.
Mark Farnsworth to break, leading 2 frames to 1. Time running.
Yeah, no, you're allowed to. I can't.
No, you've got a filthy, thick head of hair.
Yeah, sorry, mate.
Yeah, it's annoying.
Oh, is that yellow going to creep in? It's not. Mark Farnsworth breaks dry. He's not catching the break. I mean, we've spoken about it quite a lot in the stream before. The break is not one of Mark's weapons.
No, it's not. No, it's a bit like Liam Dunster. He's everything but.
Yeah.
Has he got a bad break? No, but it's not. It's not up to the level of the rest of his game.
No.
Let me see John McAllister's. Straight back in after the mess he made of the previous frame. Chance to put it right, put it all to the back of his mind.
It makes such a big difference, doesn't it, to when you've made a mistake like that and then you get straight to the table on the next break and you've got a good chance to your opponent clears up again and you're sat thinking about that mistake for that much longer.
Yeah, it's so much easier to... Well, it works both ways. Yeah, put it to the back of your mind. You don't sit there thinking, I should be 3-1 up when it's 2-all if you've just won the frame to go 2-all. But, it's a bit of work to do. Bit of work to do still for John. I think the yellow into the bottom left corner pocket that's on the left-hand side cushion, that's probably going to be his last one. Needs to leave himself an angle, which... without hampered queuing, arguably got slightly too much into that, but he didn't want to be hampered queuing on the red.
No, he didn't, and you're right. That's the lesser of two evils. But this is tricky.
Yeah, it's missable. I expect him to get it, but it's missable. Taking the white down the centre of the table for the yellow into the left middle afterwards. Has he got into that a bit much?
Yeah, but he can reroute if he has to. He could take the one up to the top left first.
He can. It's just the angle that he'd have to leave himself afterwards, which, he almost needs to be dead straight really on this one into the middle. So he's going to try and drag this in with rakes left hand side to hold the cue ball. which he's done, but he wanted it to just come a little bit further out so
If-
he could almost use this left-hand side cushion to stun up table towards the left middle pocket. As it is, he's going to have to leave it a bit of distance, I think.
I just wonder if he could play the yellow off the red and screw it back that way a little bit.
Yes and no. I mean, he can, but then the red might be heading back towards where the white is anyway.
He's just left distance.
Just left distance. Just left himself a shot, and he's going to back himself to get it.
Play this with some pace as well, because he can't drop this, he can't roll this through
No, it's
and
a
stay on the black.
big moment early in this match. Yeah, he's nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. 2 apiece.
Oh, these two are so good.
Yes, they are.
Yeah, they just are. They just. If you're up against even a top amateur, even a lower ranked pro, that last yellow for John, if you're sat in your seat, you're thinking, there's every chance I'm coming back here. You know, it's a tough pot. It's missable.
See John just quickly there. He's clutching his right elbow. His
He
right
does
elbow.
not. He doesn't look good, does he?
No, it's his rib cage. He's
Is it his stomach?
no, he's not happy. He never looks happy anyway.
Yeah,
does
but
he?
no,
he's in
he
serious pain.
doesn't look.
He's in serious pain there.
Let's hope he's going to be all right to continue. And, I mean, he's having a smile there with his sponsor Jeff, but
Jeff's laughing it up. He's
Fifth frame.
well, it's easy. He's not the one in pain, is he?
yeah, Jeff's not in pain.
2 frames all.
Get on with it, John.
Get on with it. Yeah.
Well, it's not affecting his break because he's hit them really well, but he hasn't made a ball. Oh my God! Look at these reds. Blind.
They are just there. They're absolutely sat.
Absolute sitters.
Yeah, I'm tempted to write reverse dish in my notes already. I'm not going to, because I feel like that would be unfair to Mark and perhaps putting the real curse on him. But
Yeah, the true curse. Yeah,
yeah,
that's the thing.
but yeah, you can't. You couldn't ask for a better split.
That's the red closest to the left middle is the only thing that can go wrong here, but I'm clutching at straws.
Yeah, you are, because yeah, he could take that into left middle, bottom left. Left middle now if he's on it nicely. Just about might have come an inch too far to take that now.
Yeah.
It would be easy enough to leave that as his last ball and take it long into the bottom left and then just the black into the right centre.
He could do that. He could stun across towards the black spot.
10 seconds.
Almost use the yellow to the immediate right of this red as a guide, stun into that, because even then it's an easy cut into the middle pocket. I mean, there's plenty of ways you can go about this. So you screw him back. He's played that, yeah. So that was his guide.
Yeah.
Might have to play this with a bit of left-hand side, just to avoid.
Almost to slow the cue ball down rather than position. Just
Yeah. So
just wants to check it up. Yeah.
yeah, perfection. It's easy from up here, isn't it? Isn't it easy from up here?
I'm not being funny, but they were easy down there.
Yeah, well, I felt up here, they were, yeah.
You know, you've got Mark Farnsworth. He's got 7 reds on the table and a black. There's no problems there. There's nothing in the way.
I know.
He's going to get them. And he did.
We could almost close our eyes for a minute or so and just have a little rest, couldn't we?
We could, but then I'd probably start snoring on the commentary, and
Yeah,
no one wants that.
No one wants
No.
that. No.
Well, so far, we're 5 frames in. We've had 3 reverse dishes, which tells you a lot about the breaks.
A bit of a theme, this.
Yeah,
From the last match.
from the last match as well.
Yeah, players just not making a ball from the break. It's just a bit bizarre, especially when they're hitting them well. How do you explain it?
You don't, and that's the thing. Yeah, you can't. Is it the table? Is there some minute difference between that table and a different table elsewhere that's making these good breaks go dry? I don't know. It's just luck, isn't it? It's just luck.
Oh, I think so.
We've talked a lot about certain players solving the break, as Mark actually gets a good one. It's not the best split, it's not the best contact, but a couple of reds get kicked in off, and that's the luck we're talking about. You know, but we've seen over the years, we've seen the odd player. Liam Dunster had a moment where he seemed to make the same ball on every break, and he was going for that. And then you had a few years earlier Mark Boyle in his cut break, where he seemed to make a ball every time. He was hitting those cut breaks so well that he was unplayable for a couple of tours. But then it seems to desert them as well. So is it form? I can't tell.
Yeah, so I think you'd be a rich man if you knew the answer.
Yeah. Well, Mark's taken on the reds. He's played a nice cut into the centre to start off with. It hasn't come out as he'd have liked. This is a thin snick now.
It's come out very nice.
Beauty.
He probably knew that was going to happen as well. He knew he was going to flick the first ball, and then the yellow up will go up towards the table, up towards the top of the table. So it's a bit more measured than it looked. That playing very well.
Yeah. He is. And the thing is, his form so far this season has been sensational. He won the first 2 Open events. He made the final of the 3rd. In the professional, he's been running deep as well. He's been semis, quarters. It hasn't been like he's been focusing all of his energies on the Open event and the pro just hasn't come for him.
No, he's trying to get that #1 spot back, isn't he? He's got his eyes on it, but on the other hand, you've got Liam Dunster that keeps making finals as well, and what a final that would be.
See, for me, I think they're the top 2 at the moment.
I think they are consistency-wise the last.
I think John is very close behind, but I think the top 2 is Dunster Farnsworth, and I think that's the battle at the moment, and I think that's the final I'd like to see because of that. And also because I feel like John might need to go and get a rest, because he really does look in some pain.
Looks like he needs a massage. He seems to be in considerable pain.
Well, we wish him well either way. He's going to come to the table clutching his stomach again, but it's his break. Hasn't been to the table for a couple of frames now. Mark's reverse dish and then broke dished. And if he is in pain, if you're just sat there thinking about that, I guess when you're at the table, it's probably a welcome distraction.
Yeah, maybe. I mean, it's almost like he's got a broken rib. The way he keeps holding it.
Seventh frame, John McAllister to break, trailing 4 frames to 2. Time running.
You say it's not affecting his break, but the luck is not with him either.
No.
That is a huge in-off for John McAllister.
Yeah, he's hit those
1 free
really
shot,
well.
1 visit.
And he's controlled the white perfectly as well. He's held the white centre of the table. Along comes another couple of balls. Bang, straight in the corner pocket.
The worst part for John
Furious.
is these look a bit messy, but actually the 2 yellows that are together are both plants.
Yeah. Yeah, and the blacks tied up, but he's got a free visit.
Got a free shot. So
it's just a dagger to the heart. I mean,
the rib cage.
The rib cage.
Maybe, maybe that's what's happened.
Maybe that's what it was.
Yeah, It's a body blow for John McAllister, that enough, because it
Body
looks
blow. I like it. You did that on purpose, didn't you?
No.
No?
Yeah, I did. But it looks for all the world like he's going to be 5-2 down with Mark to break next, and maybe I don't. We don't know why he's in pain. We don't know what's happened, but to be fair, it doesn't appear to have affected his game. It's not like he's made loads of mistakes.
No, he hasn't actually. No, you're right. You know, he may well be in a bit of pain sat there, but yeah, he hasn't played badly, has he? He just hasn't potted off his break.
There's one miss each in this whole match so far,
and that is the probably the best way to sum up how important it is to make a ball off the break. One mistake each, and yet it's looking like being 5-2.
Yeah,
which is a big lead, and you know, looks like someone's almost taken a bit of a beating there, 5-2, but they've made one mistake each.
Mark's just got to apply a little bit of care to this next shot. He needs to finish straight on this plant. He doesn't want too much. He doesn't want an angle where, you know, the cue ball's flying back away from the yellow, and he doesn't want to push the yellow into the red.
No, that's right. So
That's
he's played it
perfect.
to perfection.
But it was I mean, it was obviously calculated, but it was a fraction risky to leave that plant till last for that reason. If you don't land nicely on it, then
Yeah, I think with someone like Mark, though, he'll just suss that out straight away, and he'll say, right, my important shot of the frame, the key to this frame is getting good position on that plant, so he'll map his route out accordingly and do what Mark does.
well, can Mark Farnsworth make a ball off this break? If he can, he may be looking at a 6-2 lead because he hasn't left the table for the last 3 frames. It's phenomenal form, it really is. Of course, this competition started yesterday. Professionals have been hard at it
8th frame. Mark
for
finds
2 days now.
leading 5 frames to 2. Time running.
Big Ray. Break off. Held the white perfectly again. Nothing down again.
That's actually his best break of the match, and he hasn't made a ball.
Yeah.
That's the best he's caught the pack.
Held the white perfectly. Good split. Not the biggest break you ever see. Like Craig Marsh hit a couple in that last match, didn't he? Where it was like the sound it made and the speed at which the balls flew around the table. You know, immediately after he sort of hit the pack.
10 seconds.
It wasn't quite one of those, but it was a good break from Mark there. Just nothing down.
So what issues has John got here then? I mean, it feels like it's yellows to me.
He's got his ribs as well, remember?
Is he looking at a plant first off here? The yellow that's next to the red near the black.
Trickier than it looks, isn't it?
Yeah.
You look at the table and think, oh, they're all fairly in the open. You know, there's a couple of reds on cushions, but
the reds are in the way of the yellows in more than
Yeah.
1 or 2 places, aren't they?
yeah, they are. Yeah, and
I think he's under hit that.
tricky finish. Does the yellow on the left of the table go past the red into the bottom left?
Yeah, I don't think it does. It might do. If it does, I think he needs to take it now because I think he's underdone that. I think he wanted to be on the yellow to the bottom right, and I don't think he is.
Well, you see, he's just bent down to have a look to see if it goes. So it's obviously tight, but he obviously thinks it does go. Say about that languid cue action that he's got there.
Ooh.
Ooh.
See, he was sneaking that. He didn't have a full pocket.
No. I mean that's a 100 out of 100 if he's just got to put that ball in open play.
Yeah.
But because he didn't have a full pocket and he was worried about flicking the red on the way through, he's missed it.
And it brings Mark Farnsworth to the table.
Is he looking at the skill shot first up?
Oh, that's huge. No, he can't be. I mean,
He could.
he could, but he's such a thing. I mean, the yellow is so far in the pocket that it's not that difficult. He is looking at this, you know. This is a big shot.
He's doing it. He's not there.
Oh, he
Oh.
caught it just a fraction off, didn't he?
One visit.
Yeah,
Simon.
fraction off, and it's almost like sunk to the floor. He seems to have got really frustrated when he plays bad shots this weekend, Mark. Probably just not used to it, I suppose. It's crazy, though, isn't it?
I can teach him.
Yeah. But he's 5-2 up in the semi-final of the pro event.
Yeah.
And I'm talking about someone who hasn't been at their best. Madness, really. How good the guy is.
John's just got to be careful. Mark's left that red over the bottom left pocket. It's perhaps just causing some concern for John.
Yeah.
Because the left hand of the 3 yellows in the bottom half of the table, ideally you'd want to take that into there. It does go to the centre as well. But the one above it, what's he doing here? Is this a plant? A double?
No, he's playing the yellow in the middle.
Can he get
the
through
one
to that?
nearest the left middle? Well,
Oh, yeah, he must be able to. You're right, but
no, I think he's played it with a bit of side though. He might have had to bend it a tiny bit.
so you can leave that other yellow that's in the centre of the table into the left middle. You've just got to push the cue ball through enough. This angle doesn't look ideal either, but
Well, he's playing it plain ball, so he's obviously just gonna. No.
I don't get that. I don't understand. That was exactly what I thought might happen. That was what that was what the
weird.
angle looked like to me, but I assumed he saw something different.
Maybe he's potted it thick into the. Middle
They're so
pocket,
thick though. He wasn't even close to getting
Yeah.
past that.
Yeah, that's a very, very uncharacteristic shot from John McAllister.
That shot there makes me think that actually he is struggling here.
Yeah. No way. No way.
I was about to eat every single one of those words. But in all seriousness, that shot, he's just sat down. He looks in pain.
Yeah, Mark's made him get straight back up as well.
That's not very nice, is it?
No, that's horrible.
Total snooker.
Horrible man, Mark Farnsworth. Yeah, I feel like
Chicken tonight? No?
I feel like John just wants to get out of here. Honestly, the way he's played that as well, and if he is in a lot of pain, I don't blame him.
One visit. Simon.
It's the last place I want to be.
Oh, yeah. It's to be honest, I've never
Simon.
really played pool with an injury before.
No,
No, it's a lie. I played on crutches once.
I've done that. That's tough. That's very
Yeah,
tough.
It was actually not that tough. Playing the shot was fine because you could rest I could rest my cast on the floor for balance. It was just getting around the table that was.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
Yeah. But yeah, I've never had like a sort of upper body injury or something that's sort of hindered me really.
No, I'm with you. I've had injuries that have hampered me walking around the table, but
Yeah.
never.
Not queuing. But I didn't see the match that he played against Ben Davis. Did you commentate on that? Did he look in pain then?
There was a moment, yeah, where it was pointed out that he did look in a bit of pain. But I feel like it might be getting worse.
It's not going to soothe the pain, is it, having Mark pick these reds off and take a 6-2 lead? It's going to make things worse.
Yeah, it certainly is.
Does he stun this? Does he drag it in? Just dragged it in.
Played that nicely. Played it at such a weight that he made sure he wasn't going to pop both of them.
Yeah.
Because if he pops both of them, actually, the red to the right centre's a bit skinny. Made the positional shot for the black just that little bit more awkward. But now he had the one over the pocket. He can just knock them in.
Yeah, very nicely done. 6-2. Starting to look like the writing's on the wall for John McAllister.
Yeah, it would be a serious comeback from here, wouldn't it?
Yeah, he's probably relying heavily on dry breaks, and he's just clutching his right elbow. Is it his right elbow? It looks like to me.
See, I'm not sure because I feel like it's a sort of stomach pain or something where he almost looks. There's times when he's sat in his seat, looks like he's sort of bent double, but there's something not right. That's for sure.
No. Well, let's hope he's okay.
Still got his.
Let's hope it's only a minor injury, not a long-term one.
He's still got his glittery shoes on though. So.
9th frame.
He's got
You a fan?
He's got the sequins. I like it. Yeah, I am.
Do you really?
I like a bit of personality in the shoe.
Yeah?
Yeah, I do.
I think they're awful.
I think we've got the. You've got your. With the newer style of shirt that the players, a lot of players are favouring to wear now, more like Marks than Johns. I like those. I think they give you a bit more personality. But I think before that, when it was tended to be more like the polos that Johns are wearing at the moment, the sort of plain single colour block, I quite liked a bit of personality in the shoe. Yeah.
So really then what you're saying is, you love the shoe, but why haven't you got one of these funky new T-shirts?
Yeah, precisely, yeah.
Yeah. I think get the new funky new T-shirt, ditch the shoes. Well, they're an eyesore, aren't they? Well, look at that. Look.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe it's for when he's playing you.
Yeah, just to put me off.
Yeah.
It's the shine, isn't it? On the match table as well, the shine coming off of it. That's, look how shiny.
What do you think they are? Like rhinestones or sequins or?
God knows.
Maybe John spent his World Championship winning on them and they're diamonds.
Well, I've got to confess, I don't know what a rhinestone is or a sequin.
You don't know what a sequin is?
No.
Did you not go to primary school?
Primary school? You've gone nasty there. Most people would say you've not gone to school.
No,
You've
no,
gone
no.
to go primary school.
What I mean is sequins are those little glittery things that you used to like glue onto things in primary school.
Right, okay, yeah, no. I must have been off that day.
That day, weeks of fun. PVA glue and sequins, that was...
Sequel, like Rocky 1, Rocky 2.
That is not the same thing.
I don't know what sequin is. No. We're seeing John McAllister struggle through this clearance. I think he's kind of upping the pace a little bit because of the pain that he's in.
Oh, hello.
He's got away with that.
Oh, that's a right touch.
Yeah, I think he's flicked 2 different reds there, hasn't he?
Yep.
Flicked one on the way up and then one as he's come into the top part of the table.
He's actually finished perfect.
Yeah, I think he's in... I think he's throwing almost caution to the wind and playing quicker because of the pain he's in. And he's just sort of thinking, well, I'm just going to go ultra aggressive, up the pace a little bit, and see where we can.
Yeah, I mean, why not? That's the thing. If he gets the chances, that'll work for him.
Well, one thing for sure. He's never going to quit. He's never going to say die or.
Nope.
He is there to the end sort of thing, and he's made many a comeback over the years from being, very far behind. He's well capable of running off 6 frames on the bounce if Mark Farnsworth goes dry 3 times. So this match is far from over. But still back against the wall. So rhinestone then, I don't know what that is.
It's like a fake diamond, I think.
Yeah, you check on your thesaurus. Is that what?
No, it's a rhinestone. You know how you get like the cowboys with the sort of glittery jackets.
Oh yeah.
Those are what they put on.
Big things they plonk onto the shoulder pads. Or
Yeah,
something.
that kind of thing.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. If I don't enjoy the pool, at least I'm getting educated.
Back to primary school.
Primary school, what an insult.
Can't believe you don't know what a sequin is.
Normally you go, oh, didn't you go to school?
Yeah, but
You've gone primary school.
It was such a specific thing. It was.
Yeah, but
It's a bit like a xylophone, right?
Yeah.
That's the only time you ever come across a xylophone in your entire life is at primary school.
Yeah, it is, yeah, when you're doing
Yeah.
the X4. Yeah.
Mark 1
Exactly.
break.
Yeah.
Like
Six
it's
frames
that kind
to
of thing.
Timer.
You'd never. It's the only time. So it wasn't. I wasn't suggesting you
Well-
never went to primary school because you can't count. Or
Oh,
something, but
I'm not one to hold grudges.
but you will this time.
That's
What a break that is
Oh,
from
yeah.
Mark Farnsworth.
very good break, and I think first glance, reds. I don't think the yellow goes at the top of the table, does it? So I think you may have to go reds, but reds are fine. If the yellow does,
If the
go,
yellow goes, it's yellows.
he's going yellows. Yeah.
I think it does.
Even if it doesn't, reds. He's getting reds. He's getting reds.
Yeah.
Um,
Because that
Spoilt for
slightly
choice.
tricky one on the right hand side is made easy by the fact that it would be a plant to the one over the pocket. So
yeah. I mean, this is just a stun, really. This couldn't be much easier. Hasn't got to do anything. In fact, he's taken them a different route to what I thought, but they're so easy. There's about 5 different ways he could go about this. So if he can hold himself together, he's going to find himself 4 up with 5 to play. Booking himself a spot in the final against Liam Dunster.
it's a
What
very,
match
very
that'll
strong
be.
position to be in, isn't it? 4 up with 5 to play.
Yeah.
10 seconds.
If Mark Farnsworth wins this event, you've got to talk about it being one of the all-time great IPA seasons, and there's still an event to go. Because that would be 3 tournament wins in 4 events, plus another final.
Yeah, I mean, it's a ridiculous run of form.
That is almost unparalleled. There's been a couple of 3 events in a season. I don't think anyone's ever done 4.
No.
Frame.
I wouldn't know, but it's a ridiculous run of form.
Well, Liam's done 3 in a row.
Consistency.
Liam's done 3 in a row before. I think Simon Ward has back in the day. I have looked all this up, but I don't have it in front of me. But it's happened 2 or 3 times where they've been back to back or 3 in a season. I think 4 is pushing the limit. You know, if you win, essentially it's 10 events, isn't it, in a season?
Yeah.
You know, with your pros and your opens.
Yeah, of
If you
course,
win
yeah.
4 of them,
Yeah, that's ridiculous.
it's
yeah.
unheard of.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
And the thing is, Mark's still in the Open. He could do 2 this weekend. It's not like
And there's another 2 to come in January.
exactly. It's yeah.
Yeah.
So Mark is very likely in the final of 1 for his 3rd win.
Frightening season.
Yeah, it really is.
And that'll all lead him nicely up to the Worlds in February.
Frame.
Well, no one's
Break.
ever won it twice.
7 frames to 3.
No, not in the modern era. No. Not under its black ball.
No, not the IPA
Format.
World Championships as a black ball tournament. No one's ever won it twice.
No.
Or John McAllister, that's the worst break I've ever seen him hit, I think. He hasn't caught those at all. Oh, he's gone for the cut break.
Yeah.
It's unusual.
Well, I think it's almost a bit of desperation, really. I think he did the cut break last time as well, but he doesn't normally do it.
It's not a good cut break though, is it? Because all the
That
balls have
was-
gone over to the one side.
No, and he doesn't. So the white he didn't control the white in the same way that, say, for example, Liam Dunster does, where I was speaking to him about it earlier, actually, after his match, and I asked him, and he said, yeah, basically, he wants to, so if he cuts breaks from the left, the white goes into the left-hand side cushion, and then straight back towards the ball that he's just hit, and the black,
10 seconds.
that line. So he's almost getting like a double smash. You know, he can go back into the cluster again, and the break you just saw there from John, the white went off at quite a low angle, and you know, funny enough, they all gone over to the right hand side of the table.
Oh, that's a nice shot from Mark. Had to
Very
play that
nicely
with
done.
a lot of left-hand side to keep it from flicking into that red.
Still a bit of work needs to be done though, bottom of the table.
Yeah, I mean, if he can get over to the left-hand side, anywhere really, around the left middle pocket, I'm fairly sure that the top of those two yellows goes to the bottom right, even though it doesn't look like it from that camera angle.
No, I think it just about does. Or obviously he can plan it into the left middle pocket, but very tough positional shot. Because he can't afford to go too low when he's coming up the table. Now he needs to come just past this left middle pocket, just past it.
10 seconds.
But if he goes too far, he's going to be losing the cue ball for position.
Oh, is that far enough?
No, I don't think it is. Oh, it might be.
It's very. I think it is.
I think he's just about all right.
I think it's. Oh, it's very tight.
No, he's all right. He's come round to look at the angle for the other one. He's all right.
Yeah, he's on it.
And if he's all right, he's actually perfect then, because he couldn't afford to have run it much further forward.
Ooh.
So what's he done there?
Again, this is tight.
Yeah, I think. Well, it's more that I think he wanted to be
He wanted to be straighter on it, surely.
straight on, so he can maybe just stun straight up the table. But let's see what he does.
Perfect. Absolutely no problem at all.
Beautiful, easy peasy.
No need to worry. Mark Farnsworth is an 8-3 winner. He completes our final lineup. He will take on Liam Dunster very, very shortly on this table.
Farnsworth wins the match, 8 frames to 3.
It was a superb performance against a slightly out of sorts John McAllister, who certainly towards the end of the match looked to be in some quite severe pain for some reason.
Yeah.
But either way, it was a terrific performance from Mark. That was 6, 7. I think 6 of his 8 frames have come off the breaks.
Yeah, he played very well.
It was quality,
Very well, Mark.
quality all the way through.
And he sets such a high standard that now and again, if he makes just 2 or 3 mistakes in the match, we see it as a bad performance. But we're going to get a couple of words from Mark now with Kev Barton. So we're just going to hand you over now.
Welcome down to the arena, where I'm joined by our second finalist, Mark Farnsworth. Mark, that was a pretty faultless display.
Yeah, it's just one of those matches where the balls seem to come out really kind for us. I can't remember having to play too many difficult shots like off the breaks. And John, just one of them matches where he just didn't seem at the races at all. It's probably the worst I've seen it's the worst I've seen John play for a while. But like I said, the balls came out, they were kind to us, and they were there for the take, and really just had to play some sensible positional shots, but I didn't really have to do too difficult, so I thought I played all right, but like I said, there was a few easy clearances there, so just had to make the most of them.
Based on your comments on your last performance when you were on the stream, do you think that was a much better performance? Yeah,
I got off to a good start. I felt all right all day, and just the other few matches, balls have seemed to come out a little bit tricky, and I've had to force finishes and just haven't felt comfortable. My positional shots have been snatching pots and all the rest, but you just take them matches when the balls come out really nice, and you've just got a little stun shots and that, and little top spins and whatever else, so you're happy enough to take them all day.
Okay, so you're in the final, one match away from another title. Obviously, you've won the big one and plenty of other IPA titles, but what would it mean to you to take home the title this weekend?
Yeah, well, every tournament you win, especially when you're getting on a little bit, and that's what you play for. You want to try and win the tournaments that you enter. And like I said, a couple of years I lost a little bit of hunger, losing matches I probably didn't put 100% effort in. But I feel as if I'm playing reasonably well and grinding hard, you know. So when you do get the business end, you wanna try and win the tournament.
And your opponent, Liam Dunster, obviously you two know each other very well. You've had some great battles. It's a great rivalry, England-Scotland.
Yeah, Liam's like the last couple of years, he's probably, I think I've said in the past, he's set the bar. He's pretty faultless, you know. He takes his time, he's methodical, you know. But there's nothing in the game he can't do, you know. So he's a tough player to beat, but I'll be trying my best.
Okay, well, good luck in the final, Mark. Well played. So